Hi everyone, my name is Jacob. In today's episode we're going to talk about fursuiting, moreover public fursuiting. So public fursuiting is a very fun activity to do. It makes a lot of people happy and it brings joy to people's faces. Overall, it involves a lot of going out and doing, which is both physically exhausting and mentally exhausting. There's a lot of precautions you need to do, way too much, and it really depends on where you're going. So, for example, going to a public park is very easy because it's a public location and you don't need to get pre-approved or anything. But in return, you do have to worry about like how hot it is outside. But yeah, it gets really hot outside, so you definitely have to prepare for that. Bring extra water and extra handlers. Ooh. It also really depends on like what type of fursuit you're wearing. So like if you're wearing a brightly colored fursuit, you might bounce the heat a lot better than a normal fursuit. Like if you're a black or blue wolf, it might be harder than me lion. But it really depends on you. Overall, it's super fun. Everyone's watching and they all love it. You'll get a lot of pictures and a lot of people interested in what you're doing. Overall, so some of the precautions do include calling and planning, trying to get people to be your handlers. If you don't know, a handler is somebody who watches your back and like helps you out. Lots of logistical things to worry about. The hardest part of fursuiting is when you start putting on the fursuit to begin with, because you're worried about how people will think about you and how people will visualize you. It's somewhat called a stage fright. So if you know stage fright, you kind of get that every time. So finally you put on your fursuit and you're ready to go outside and perform. And that's like the hardest part, because you're always wondering, oh, what's gonna happen, or you're always a little scared. But once you step outside, it all gets better. For example, I've done a lot of public fursuiting at like parks and ice skating arenas. It's always scary walking out to begin with because everyone's like, oh, whoa, who's that? But once you're out there for like a minute and people start to digest it, they really love you. Overall, I suggest taking breaks and to not like overexert yourself. As time continues and you fursuit for longer, you start to get tired, and that's when you should start taking breaks and drinking water. You don't want to overexert yourself too hard. And as the time continues to pass, more time continues to pass, it might be time to stop fursuiting. So overall, the public fursuiting process is very time intensive, and it's very mentally intensive too, because you have to do a lot of stuff and make sure everyone's happy. Lots of planning. My tips are, number one, to always call ahead and make sure that it's okay, unless it's like a public park. Step two is to have a handler to help you out. Maybe even take videos and record for you as well. Step three is to plan the times, like how long you're gonna fursuit and where you're gonna go. And then the next step is to just do it. And I'd suggest, if it's your first time, to always start small. I wouldn't do any big carnivals or anything that have a lot of people. Maybe just a park or something. Once you finish fursuiting, you're gonna have to deal with the problems, which is your fursuit is hot and stinky. So how are you gonna deal with a stinky, musky fursuit? Well, that's why we have fursuit spray. Fursuit spray is kind of like an isopropyl alcohol thing that you spray on your fursuit to make it smell a little better and to deal with the problems. I'd also suggest airing out your fursuit so it doesn't develop like mold or anything. So you finish fursuiting and you're starting to feel more confident in yourself and you can start doing more. I would never push yourself too much. Being at a furry con is one of the best options because the stress and anxiety isn't really there as it would be at a normal place, like a park. One thing about public fursuiting is it's super addictive. You want to do it over and over again. So definitely go out more and more. My best for public fursuiting experience was ice skating because I love doing that a lot. Overall, it was very fun, very addictive, and everyone loved it. I got a lot of pictures and videos, and a lot of people were talking about it, which is cool. It also helps to get people knowing about the fandom and learning about what a furry is. I've also done charity events for like local children and such, so it's always good to help the community, and it's also very fun. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you like this, please comment on future topics and subscribe for more. Thank you. Bye.